Another statewide ballot measure we are still waiting for results on is Proposition 123. The measure is still too close to call. The big question is why such a division, being that affordable housing is such a big issue in the Denver metro. I spoke with a local expert who shares some perspective. Proposition 123 is a ballot question that Elizabeth Peets with the Colorado Association of Realtors says was likely confusing to some voters.
If we're trying to help a continuum of housing for unhoused or homeless prevention, rental, with this really transformational rent-to-own equity vehicle and homeownership down payment assistance, that's a lot for voters to understand.
If passed, Proposition 123 would dedicate 0.1% of the state's income taxes each year for affordable housing projects. It would not raise income taxes in the state. However, it would likely result in fewer Tabor refunds for taxpayers. The ballot initiative is expected to raise $145 million in budget year 2022-2023 and $290 million the year after.
One of the things that might have given voters some pause is what happens if local governments don't take up the ability to use a grant, and then that money goes into the general fund.
But that's not something Pete says people need to worry about. The measure will require legislation, which she says will make sure the money is spent adequately. But Pete says if the measure fails,
if we don't pass this measure, we're not going to have a dedicated revenue stream for affordable housing. What that means is we have to depend on the existing programs that we have.
Pete says that money will eventually run out in a few years, and then it's back to the drawing board, stressing that if the housing crisis is not addressed soon, she believes we will see more and more people leaving the state.
We are going to lose some of those critical civil servants, the teachers, the firefighters that can't afford to live in Colorado.
Chairman of the Tabor Committee, Penn Pfeiffer, and opponent to Proposition 123, says if this measure passes, it is going to make Colorado an experiment that could end up putting our economy in very bad shape.
Denver 7 will be watching closely as we wait for races and ballot issues to be called. You can find the latest anytime over at denver7.com.